Our first hike in Catskills Park was to be a loop to North Point. We would park at Schutt Road just outside of the North-South campground, which is a rather large campground. The loop is 5.5 miles long, using the Rock Shelter, Mary's Glen, and Escarpment Trails. Of course, all things are subject to change, and this hike was no exception. Well, after the nice boardwalks, we've entered a section of a very rocky trail. I won't try to film as I walk. Well, it's opened up a little bit. We've gone uphill, maybe gotten away from the worst of the rocks. It was nice and quiet a minute ago at this trail junction. Can't see the water. That's a long 1.3 miles. If you're sure-footed, good vision and all that, I'm sure you can do it quickly. But it took us well over an hour and a half to get here. A lot of rocks, a lot of muddy spots, roots.
All right, dude. Let me get closer. Hold on.
This uphill climb on, I believe it's Mary's Glen Trail. It's full of rocks, and the water's flowing just below the surface of the rocks, just below the trail. It's less than ideal.
You're going the wrong way. What? What do you want me to do? The trail's that way? That way. I know, I'm just moving out of the way. Just take your video. Okay? What do you want? What are you waving?
Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. Okay?
I think I just got my first wet foot. Okay.
It is an interesting trail. After climbing up a steady grade for a little while, the floor has changed from, I think, mostly maples to conifers. Firs, I think. Well, if I was by myself, I would walk back to the curve and then come on out. We didn't actually go up to North Point, which would have added about a half mile to the hike. But there just wasn't an enthusiasm for it, given how slow we'd been going. Perhaps if I'd been alone, I would have done it. But if I'd been alone, I would have been going even slower. So instead, we adjusted our plans and hiked down the Escarpment Trail to Mary's Glen Trail and the Campground Road.
Moving on.
You'd have to be a bad man to want to go into this cave. Well, I knew it couldn't last. The nice easy trail changed to a rocky downhill. Sure, if you're sure-footed, it probably isn't a big deal. But I found those rocks all varying inclines and wetness levels rather stressful. But it's nice in here. It keeps changing. Now it's a dark forest of evergreens, very rocky underfoot and descending. Not going to try to film and walk at the same time because I'm already going slowly enough.
You might want to say we signed in on Schutt Road or something.
Yeah. Where did we start?
Well, it was Schutt Road. I don't know.
What was the name of the road?
SCH. It's an SCHUTT.
S-T...
Schutt. We've left the trails. We're on the road that services the north-south campground, and in about 1 mile we will return to our car. Hallelujah. Quite the walk. The mileage may not be high, and it wasn't high, but the footing, it's all about the footing. It's always about the footing. We must be getting close to Schutt Road because I smell the smell of new tar. And they were blacking the road, or at least recently, maybe just really recently. We felt the heat when we walked off it this morning. I wonder if we'll feel it as we walk back down it right now. The last couple 100 feet. Ta-da!